We have a full moon coming up soon, so I thought it'd be fun if I talked a little bit about full moons. Uh, the moon is very powerful. Now, I used to just think it's just a big old rock in the sky. However, as an old ER nurse, I did see some unexplainable things in the emergency room related to the moon. It was always busier with the new and full moon. And I know there's a lot of old wives' tales about the full moon bringing some particular crazy, um, wired up behavior out there. I personally didn't see it as much on the full moons. I saw it more on new moons. On full moons in the ER, I saw a lot of birthing related emergencies. However, you might find that a little bit different. Nonetheless, full moons are very energetically impactful in our lives. So I want to show you what I'm talking about when I talk about full moons. They impact our sleep patterns, our behaviors, even our moods. Um, the increased light from a full moon. Have you ever had a full moon or have a window and the full moon shining in the evenings? It's almost daylight out. You don't even need a lamp to get around your home. So full moons can impact the amount of light, which also impacts our circadian rhythms. So we might find it more difficult to rest in the evening. So I want to show you a little bit about full moons. In order to do that, I'm going to need to share my screen. Give me just a second as I put my old lady glasses on and go over here. So here you go. We have the moon and the earth, and you think it's just a rock in the sky. But actually, there is a lot of energy or a pull. There's a pull in both directions. The earth has a pull on the moon has a pull on the earth. The Earth's pull on the moon causes the moon, to actually stay in orbit around the Earth. It's so strong, it creates a pull to rotate around the Earth. The moon's pull is, the moon is not big enough to cause an orbit, but it is big enough to do some things to the Earth. Let's talk about the tides. The moon actually lifts the oceans. It lifts the oceans up. And so as the moon travels around the earth, a bulge will follow the moon. And that's where we get our high tides and our low tides. It's that powerful. So as the moon goes around, you'll see it here. The bulge will follow the moon. Now, the Earth, we all know that the Earth makes a turn in 24 hours. The sun makes a turn in 27 days, and the moon takes almost 28 days. So it's kind of bizarre. We go around in one day. When the moon is making its slow trek, it takes a whole month for it to rotate around the Earth. It will get out of alignment with the sun, and that bulge will go around with it as it goes around. And so you'll have a high tide and you'll have two high tides in the day. As it does a full rotation, you'll have a high tide on one side and a high tide on the other. And as the earth turns, you'll get two high tides and two low tides. It's just how powerful the moon is. When you look at the moon in perspective of, where it's positioned, with the sun and the earth, when the moon is between the sun and the earth, that's called a new moon. And a new moon you can't see. Number one, if you're on the night side of Earth, it's on the other side of you. And if you're on the light side of Earth, the sun shining onto the moon is shining onto it, but you can't see the moon because all we're seeing really when we see the moon is a reflection. When the moon is on the other side of the earth, the light does is able to hit the one side of the moon, and so we're able to see a full moon. So a full moon is when the Earth is in between the moon and the sun. Two powerful energies. It impacts us. Now, as the moon travels around the Earth and goes around, we'll start to see just portions of it. That's where we get the crescent moon. You get the small slivers of the moon. But when the sun, the Earth, and the moon are lined up, that gives us our full moon. That energy and that pull between the sun and the moon and the earth can energetically affect us. There are some common practices out there with that energy that a lot of the spiritual community will do, which I just absolutely love. One of them is making moon water. So if you're inclined to, you can get a jar, a glass jar, fill it with water, and just set it out underneath the moon energy. And the next morning, you'll have some moon water. Another common practice that we do in the spiritual community is we use the moon energy to cleanse and charge our crystals. So our rocks, we love that energy. I've talked a couple of weeks ago about rocks. With rocks, they're very energetic as well. So the moon energy is something that we do to help cleanse that rock or to charge it up again. Another thing that is common that people will do in the spiritual community is just moon gaze, or I like to call it moon baths. So just sit outside, enjoy the beauty of the moon, and just sit out underneath the light. There's a couple things with full moons and new moons. So full moons, they're about releasing. They're about with the new moon, it's new beginnings, and it starts off and we start building till we get to the full moon. Then the full moon is about releasing. We all pick up stuff through the month that we don't need anymore. Ideas, actions, thoughts, hopes, different dreams that come along in the month. When we get to the full moon, it's about letting go of those things that are no longer helping us or serving a purpose for us. Now, it might have served a purpose earlier, but now it's not. So full moons are about release, where new moons are about building and making new beginnings. So as the new moon, which you can't see, starts to, and it goes and it builds up and you start to see the moon up to the full moon, that's called the waxing of the moon. And when we hit that peak, we get that full moon, it's time to just let go of some baggage. When we have an intention to release, you're going to have to go through and think of some things to release. And these releases can be things that you've just picked up in the beginning of the month and you're ready to release them, or they can be things that you've carried throughout your life, but now is the time that you're ready to release. They no longer serve a purpose, or they're no longer a desire of yours. Now, there is some debate about manifesting, and I talked a couple of weeks ago about manifesting. So manifesting really should be not during a full moon time. So full moon, oh, Lord have mercy, my phone is going off. Full moon, we're releasing. As the moon builds, that's when we're taking harness of that building energy, and that's when we manifest. But it's debatable. If you feel pulled to also call in something as you're releasing something, do it. Do it. So it just really just aligns with what you're feeling inside and what you're pulled to do. There are other astrological influences that are in play here, but that's a whole different topic we'll talk more about later. So Here's some little practices or rituals that you can do to take advantage of this moon energy. Make a list of the things you'd like to release and just pick, 1 to 3 things. Write them down on a piece of paper and then fold it up and then take it outside, and please safely do this, but light it up. Light it up and let it burn and just watch the ashes just go. That is one way to release what you're going through. If you want to call something in and you feel pulled during the full moon to do that as well, then you can also write something down on your piece of paper that's going to replace those things. So things that you might want to release might be some guilt. Maybe you want to release a bad habit. Maybe you just want to release carrying negative feelings, and you want to make space for more joy. Whatever you feel inclined to release is what you're going to write down on that paper. Step outside underneath that full moon, light it up safely, and let it burn and let it go. Another way to celebrate the full moon and release is with salt baths. I love a good salt bath. You can get your favorite oils, you can get your favorite salts, even maybe some lavender, and soak in the tub and just let those things that you're releasing, let them soak out into the tub. When you pull the drain, down goes all what you're releasing. That is a wonderful way to celebrate the new moon. Sometimes what I like to do is I just like to do a head to toe scrub. We all take showers, we all take baths, we all cleanse, but there's times where we really scrub and add the lotions, we shave, we just go a little bit more. Full moons are a great time to just cleanse and release everything down the drain. Even if you can't do a bath, Dr. Teal's makes a salt, an Epsom salt wash. There's different ways that you can use, and you can the salts, and you can use it in the shower. Let's see here. I'm gonna make sure we don't have any questions. No, we're good. I will tell you though, everybody has decided to text me just when I get on this line. So I was afraid that maybe one of y'all was texting me, so I just wanted to double check. So, all right. So, oh, I like this one. Ellen's asking any kind of salt. Whatever salt you're pulled to. I have used all sorts of salts. I have a nurse friend who makes a goat milk salt bar that I take traveling with me because I like to use salt quite often. Epsom salt is fine too. You can use sea salt. You can use Himalayan salt. Any type of salt. Salt is one of those chemical, has chemicals and properties into it where it pulls through, it pulls off. That's why we swell with salt. When salt's inside of us, we keep stuff in. So salt of any type. Hell, I've even used pickling salt because it was cheap. You can go to the store and buy a big old bag of salt, just Epsom salt or any type of pickling, canning, so any type of salt will work. So that was a good question. You can also use the salt in your well, be careful adding it to your body washes because sometimes it will have a different little reaction. It might make it thicker. It may not be desirable. But like I said, there are body washes out there that have salt in them. Dr. Teal's makes them that has Epsom salt in it. And I believe Native body wash, some of their flavors, if you look at the flavors, well, you know what I mean, some of their scents, if you look on the back of the native ingredient, on the back of the bottle at the ingredients, you will see that salt is in them as well. So, so far what we've got is we're burning and releasing. We are bathing and salting. You can also do what's called smudging. Smudging is a wonderful practice because it hits your senses. Smudging is simply burning something such as like Palo Santo to just clear the energy. I am a big fan of Palo Santo. You can also do smudging with sage. However, there are some ethical considerations, and with sage, if you use sage, I'm glad for you, do it. There are some things that if you are using sage, and that's probably just a whole nother topic, but you can do smudging, you can light candles, anything, those smells, just changing the energy and releasing the old. Let's see if what we've got here, because I see some things come here. All right. Oh, I see Deborah. Hey, Deborah. Good to see you. Hi, my friend. Another thing that you can do besides the bathing, the burning, the salting, and the smudging is meditation. And I like to think of meditation as almost, actually, it can be prayer. You can just meditate on what it would feel like to actually let go of some of these things. Maybe you want to I'm going to think of some things that I've let go of. Maybe you want to let go of holding back your authenticity. Maybe you want to let go of trying to people please. Um, think of how it would feel and meditate and think upon those things and build up some gratitude in your prayers for what you're releasing right now. Let's see. I do see one more question. Let's see. What are your thoughts about saving during a full moon? Oh, saging. Oh, okay. All right. Yes, I do. Like I said, I do like saging. I have a little handout on saging. Here's how I feel about saging. Do it with respect for the culture that it came from. If you feel pulled and you feel inclined, then when you do sage, do it ethically. Buy it ethically. Don't buy it from a mass producer that has nothing to do with the culture that it came from. Buy it where it benefits the culture, and use it with respect just by giving thanks before you use it. So saging can be done. Saging, I will tell you, does not smell as delightful as, say, Palo Santo. Palo Santo smells great. Let's see, I've got some right here. All right, so here's a stick. I know it's usually tan, but I had burned this and had let it down. So this is a stick of Palo Santo. The deal with Palo Santo is it doesn't last long. You really have to get it going and make it stay lit before you blow it out. So you would just light it, let it burn for a little bit until it's really got a good hold, and then you would blow out the flame and it would produce a smoke. And I love the smell of the smoke, and sometimes I'll just waft it over me. Sometimes I'll waft it around the room. I used a little bit of Palo before I got online and just wafted it in my area and around the computer. So that's me bouncing around between Paulo and sage. All right, so meditation and prayer, creating that gratitude for those things that you're going to release. And then maybe pull in some things you want to fill in the space. So it's very important, and we've talked about how our words and our thoughts are very, very important in our lives. So as you're saying, I'm letting go of fear, why don't you also talk about what you're replacing it with? Maybe you're replacing it with people pleasing, with authenticity. So think about the things that you want to call in and pull that in as well too. Although, like I said, manifesting, when you're really thinking about building manifesting, it's really best to do it from a new moon forward as the moon builds into the full moon. Full moons are about washing it away, letting it go. Another technique during a full moon that you can use. Now, you can use any combination of what I'm talking about, or you can use all of them. But more than likely, you're going to pick a couple that really call to you. Maybe you pick taking a salt bath and doing some smudging. But you'll pick those things that call out to you. But one of the other things that you can do is journaling. Journaling is like prayer. It's like meditation. So journaling is another thing. You can also do some creative releases. Now, again, it's what you're pulled to. Creativity, not creating something new as much, but just getting that energy out. And so just releasing through creativity. So maybe you want to create a drawing of what you want to release. Just creating something. Physical releases work as well too. Physical releases are like dancing. They're somatic. I highly recommend, if you want to, put on one of your favorite songs that just brings joy into your heart and just dance it out. And that's a little bit of a release as well too. Sometimes even putting something powerful where you're just you're feeling powerful because you're letting go of what no longer serves you or does you any good. So those are a few things that you can do with the full moon. A lot of us, oh gosh, a lot of us will put our crystals under the full moon. I have a little box that I put them in, which can be a pain in the butt sometimes. I feel like I'm toting crystals back and forth. So, putting them outside under the moonlight, even if it's in a windowsill, that will work as well too. It doesn't actually have to be on the ground. So that is kind of why with full moons, they're so energetic and what you can do with them. Oh yeah, let me add this. After you make your moon water in the morning, drink it to seal the deal. Drink that moon water just to seal the deal that you're letting go of these things and you're a brand new person with the release. Embrace this beautiful energy. It's a beautiful time of year on top of that. Sit outside, moon bathe, make some moon water, light some Palo, burn what you want to release, and just be magical. And we will see you next week.